If you sell anything online, courses, software, coaching, whatever it is, you've probably felt it lately. Something's different. That reliable growth engine you built just isn't hitting the same way, and it feels like you're kind of stuck. Well, today we're going to break down what's really going on and why the old playbook just isn't cutting it anymore.
So, the first thing we just have to get out on the table is this: selling online has changed, fundamentally. A lot of the strategies that were absolute gold just a couple of years ago, well, they're starting to show their age. And if your growth has hit a wall or your revenue feels all over the place, I promise you, it is not just you. This is a huge shift happening across the board. Now, it's really easy to blame our funnels, right? We start tweaking the copy, changing up the offer, split testing every button, and the needle just barely moves. But here's the thing: funnels aren't broken. The idea of guiding someone on a journey from curious to customer is as solid as ever. The problem isn't the funnel itself.
And you know what? It's not a traffic problem either. You can always buy more ads or create more content to get more eyeballs, but pouring more and more traffic into a system that isn't working right is kind of like pouring water into a leaky bucket. You just end up wasting a ton of effort. The real issue is much, much deeper, and it's all happening behind the scenes.
And that brings us to the real culprit here, what I like to call invisible revenue leaks. These are all those small, sneaky system failures that just quietly drain your profits and bring your growth to a screeching halt. And for entrepreneurs who've been at this for a while, these are the absolute worst because they're so hard to spot. So do any of these sound familiar? A small percentage of failed payments that you just never get around to recovering. That slow, steady drip of people canceling their subscriptions every single month. Affiliate partners who get frustrated because their tracking isn't working right. Or a business full of one-time buyers who never seem to come back for more. All of these things, they're not separate problems. They're symptoms of a bigger issue that leads straight to a revenue plateau. So let's be super clear about what a revenue leak is. It's a system failure, not a marketing failure. Things like not having a good process for recovering failed payments, that's called dunning, or just having a high customer churn rate are perfect examples. Each one might seem like a small drop in the bucket, but over a year, they add up to a massive loss.
And this number right here, this really puts it into perspective. Study after study shows it costs 5 to 7 times more to get a brand new customer than it does to just keep an existing one happy. So every time someone churns because of a failed payment or a clunky experience, you're not just losing their business, you now have to go out and spend way, way more just to replace them. Fixing these leaks isn't just about saving money, it's about making your entire growth engine more powerful. Okay, so what's causing all of these leaks to spring up in the first place? Well, it's that market shift we talked about. The old way of doing things just isn't built for today's world. We need a totally new foundation for growth, one that's designed to fix these systemic problems from the ground up. Let's just compare the old model versus the new one. The old way was all about tactics, right? Just run more ads, build more funnels, get more clicks, and do a ton of manual work. The new model, the one that's going to win in 2026, is all about your infrastructure. It's about having smarter automation, optimizing how money actually flows through your business, getting way better at retention, and building systemic logic that stops leaks before they even start. This is what that modern revenue flow actually looks like. Yeah, it starts with smart acquisition, but it absolutely does not stop there. It flows seamlessly into a frictionless checkout, then uses automated systems to retain customers and keep them happy, and finally, it focuses on expanding the value of those customers through smart upsells and a really well-run affiliate program. You see, it's a complete, holistic system, not just a bunch of one-off tactics cobbled together. So, this huge shift from tactics to infrastructure is basically rewriting the rulebook for selling online. And honestly, understanding this new model is the absolute key to breaking through those frustrating revenue plateaus. Okay, so the big question is, how do you actually do this, right? How do you build this modern revenue infrastructure without having to just tear down your entire business and start from scratch? That sounds like a nightmare. Well, the answer isn't to rebuild, but to reinforce. It's about focusing on fixing the systems behind the sales. And actually, I've been looking into a free training series that's coming up that is designed to address this exact problem. It's all about strengthening that foundation you already have. It's a free live workshop series, and it's called The New Rules to Selling Online. And the whole idea is to give you the playbook for this new infrastructure-first approach, prioritizing customer lifetime value and building automated systems that turn one-time buyers into loyal fans.
It's a really comprehensive event. It kicks off on January 12th, and over the course of about a week, they're hosting 12 different live educational sessions, wrapping up on January 19th. So it's not a quick one-off thing, it's a deep dive. Now that you kind of see the bigger picture, the next logical step is learning how to apply it. You need the new playbooks. And that's why I wanted to share this with you today. Think of this as your personal invitation to go learn them. So here's why I'm personally recommending you check it out. First off, it's completely free, live training. It's laser focused on solving these modern revenue problems we've been talking about. You'll get to hear from experienced founders who are actually doing this stuff, and they're sharing actionable playbooks, not just a bunch of theory. And honestly, even if you can only make it to 1 or 2 of the live sessions, you're still going to walk away with a ton of value. So if you feel like you're just spinning your wheels, working harder than ever, but not seeing the growth you want, it might be time for a new approach. Are you ready to stop just patching up the old system and start building a real revenue infrastructure that's ready for 2026? If you're ready to dive deeper, again, the workshop series is called The New Rules to Selling Online, and it's running from January 12th to the 19th. The link to register for free is right down there in the description. It's a great opportunity to learn from people who have already figured this out.